It's impossible for the Montreal Canadiens to lose in regulation. I don't know what's happening to this team. The shootout doesn't even count. This is just as good as a win, basically, in my books, as they go toe-to-toe with another top team in the league, the team with the hottest win streak in the whole NHL, the Dallas Stars, with the six-game win streak coming into this one. Montreal gets 30 shots again, pushes it down to the wire, and we get a Patrik Laine goal in his first game back. The classic one-timer from the exact spot that you knew he was going to take it from. There was a lot of positives to take out of this game, and it wasn't just Laine. Monty and net was absolutely stellar, and there's other little peripherals, Jesse, we got to talk about. Plus, we got some other interesting things, including a quote from Hughes we'll get into coming up a little bit later on this episode of Habs Digest. But before we get into the video, I just want to thank you guys. Last video, we had to take it down. There were some issues with the clip in there. It's okay, but you guys smashed that 17,000 subscriber goal. We could not be more thankful. You guys smashed it unbelievably. So this is just quick shout out before the video to all of you wonderful fans. Like, sincerely, it means the world to us. Jesse, let's just hop into this video though. Feel free to pause as always. Take a look at the box score. Look, a loss is a loss, Jesse, but Montreal's getting a point. I'm starting to get convinced that they'll never lose in regulation again. They're still only 2 points out of a playoff spot. Despite Ottawa winning, Montreal's still ahead of them in the standings. I feel like they're just going toe-to-toe with the best teams every night, and it's just becoming absolutely regular at this point.
I'm just so impressed with this team. Again, would have been nice to get those 2 points, but getting a valuable point right now. This team is just showing so much fight right now. It's the fourth straight game where this team is going to overtime. They just refuse to quit. Like, I got very few qualms with the Montreal Canadiens. Again, like that defensive structure, again, was at the forefront of their success at this game. Maybe kind of preventing that 2-on-1 to Jamie Benn, but I mean, we're kind of picking at straws here. There wasn't too many kind of issues I felt with the Habs game. They played a solid effort. Monty was getting those points. For sure, we want to, maybe get a couple more goals on the board, but it was a tight checking game. At the same time, the Habs were looking to do what kind of, has allowed them get that success, getting those pucks in deep. We see Hudson just somehow always continuing to get points. So there's just so many positives to really draw from this game of now, like a pretty solid body of work, Josh, of showing the consistent play. Like, as long as this continues, like this body of work, it's just going to give me more and more faith that this team is really going to be able to make some noise as we're really getting towards that postseason.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they've won 9 of their last 12. They have points now in 10 of their last 12 games. That, like, Montreal's right up there with a team like Dallas and Colorado and Vegas as being the hottest team in the league. But you're right, that defensive structure. Now, they did let up 36 shots against today in a game that went to overtime. It was 30 in regulation, which is more than they've been letting up recently. But even then, it's not about being perfect. Like, a lot of the chances Dallas got, yeah, they got in close to Monty sometimes, and he made some absolutely timely saves, including this incredible robbery in overtime. And I mean, he was just looking locked in the entire night long, Jesse. But the thing is, like, Montreal was doing a decent job of not giving up too many dangerous chances. Did they give up a good amount? Yeah, I suppose they did. But, like, it wasn't crazy. So right now, this team defensively, especially on like odd man rushes, I feel so confident that Montreal's going to get a stick on something and other teams aren't going to score on 2-on-1s. Yes, they did tonight with Jamie Benn, but in overtime they didn't, right? And other times in regulation they didn't. There was a lot of moments in this game where I was like, man, I don't know, there's just something different about this decor. And I know, like you said, the offense could score some more. Montreal wasn't really getting to Jake Oettinger as much as they could. Like, they had 30 shots, but Oettinger, I felt like, Jesse, wasn't really tested for the most part. Montreal didn't get a shot in overtime, and a lot of their shots did come kind of from the outside. But, regardless, even though they had 9 shots from the defensemen, 3 each from Carrier, Guhle, and Matheson, Hudson didn't even get a shot, but he still had an assist. The offense, I thought, looked decent. The first line looked good again. Caufield rang it off the post in overtime, and even Patrik Laine. We got to talk about him. We got to talk about our boy. I got to get back here. Where is he? Here we go. I got him right here, I think. Patrik Laine, back in this game. How impressed were you with him the first night back? Like, it looked like he didn't miss any time. I know it's just been an illness, but my gosh, him coming back and scoring that power play marker is just a legit cheat code at this point.
Yeah, just absolutely phenomenal. Just right back contributing, being a big part of this team. Obviously, we needed all the offense that he could bring tonight. But it wasn't just that, Judge. Like, he was bringing the physical game, which I've really liked from the Habs. For the last couple of games, they're not afraid to get in that chippy game. They're not getting out-muscled at all. They're refusing to back down in any game whatsoever. So, yeah, Patrik Laine, like, he's a big guy, right? Absolutely laying out his opposition in that first period there. Just phenomenal to see that this team is, again, kind of committing to that team game again. And it seems to be the neutral zone because this team, like, Montreal very much could have got those 2 points tonight, but it seems like controlling that neutral zone is all what it's about. Whoever's kind of winning that zone obviously is winning the game, right? That's the no man's land. If you're able to win that, so the Habs are having some good strategies right now, being really aggressive, right now, according to Martin St. Louis, plan, which I'm really liking right now.
Yeah, they really are aggressive. And, it's a team that is a little smaller in stature compared to a lot of other teams. Like, we do have some big forwards like Slaf, like Laine, like Dach, of course. But, Laine had some good physical edge tonight. He got an absolutely bone-crushing hit. But the other guys, like Slaf is physical, but you don't see Slaf and Dach, like, often, being those guys to instigate, right? Yes, you have guys like Arber, Xhekaj in the back end, but even a guy like Carrier is 5'11", Guhle's not massive, Hudson's a little smaller, Matthew's not really that physical. But for the amount of guys on this team that we maybe would not peg typically as being super physical dudes, this team is playing with a rough edge. And I think that's been one of the big changes, Jesse, so far, because, well, at least in this past couple weeks stretch, where they're winning a lot of board battles, a lot of puck battles. And like you said, they're playing well in the neutral zone. And they're just being aggressive, right? They're being aggressive, not just with the body checks, but like in the corners. They are working their butts off in the neutral zone. I don't even want to say they're taking gambles, but they're like forcing other teams to make really good decisions. Like you saw tonight, Jesse, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but like it felt like every time Dallas had an opportunity to make a play, to get a good chance on net, Montreal was forcing them to do something pretty good if they wanted to get anything out of it, right? They're doing a great job of closing lanes, and every single game I'm seeing this, like it's every single player, and again, it just shows that everyone's really bought in.
Exactly. And Guhle's a big part of that physical play now for this team for the last couple games. Seems like being back on his natural side, he's made it just able to read the game that much better, which is allowing him to be able to step in and really make some bone rattling hits, which of course we love to see from this player. I think like Kaiden Guhle, he's just growing us. We love him already, but just as he continues to play, we just love him more and more. Just really a true blue collar player, which really contributed us getting this game to overtime. Again, like how exciting was that extra frame? Like Caufield ringing off the post. It's going back to back. Like the Habs are just playing some really great hockey again against the best teams. Like we're not getting those 2 points, but just the fact that we're showing that consistency again in this game, like having a very solid chance of winning this one again. Josh, like I'm starting to get really excited of what this team is actually capable of right now.
Yeah, I mean, their last loss in regulation was to Chicago, and before that, Columbus. Now, Columbus is on that playoff, like, periphery. Chicago's definitely not, but we face Utah coming up this week. That's their next game on Tuesday, so I think they got a real good chance to really show what they're made of there. But yeah, I'm very excited. The fact that every single game they're going up against the top team in the league, they're coming out with, like, an even, at least, effort. Like, I don't feel Montreal got outplayed in this game overall. There were moments, but there were also moments I thought Montreal outplayed Dallas, so is what it is. I forgot to do this last game. Just before we quickly move on, I haven't even thought about this. It's a loss. Are we just saying it's Patrick Laine? The man got the only official goal for Montreal. First game back, got that absolute snipe. Are we in agreement?
Yeah, we can give it to a Monty honorable mention.
Oh, that's actually a great point. My gosh. Oh, what do you think, Monty or Laine? Why don't we split it? You want to split it for the first time ever? I think that if any game deserves it, it might be this one. Monty put up 34 saves on 35 shots with a .971 save percentage. Do we split?
Looking really good. Maybe let's give it to Laine for today, because
Sure.
I do agree he continues to be that game changer. But again, honorable mention to Monty. Like Dobash is giving him a run for his money, but he looked so good again tonight. Again, it might have been a preview of the starting goalers for Team USA, Team Canada. Like the way Monty's playing right now, he's going to be the starter for Team Canada, and I'm really looking forward to us being able to cover him at this tournament, because the way that he's playing right now, like he's going to give Team Canada that shot that they really, really need from the back end.
Very interesting. There's a lot of good players on these teams. I can't wait to see Monty, because I think you're right. I think with the right team in front of him, Jesse, this dude can make a huge difference. But just one little quick thing. We got to transition off the game before we end this video. I just want to talk about it, just because I talked about it up front. It's an interesting quote from Kent Hughes I wanted to show you guys. Now, he was interviewed talking about him and Jeff Gorton's relationship. And I just thought this played really well into tonight's game, what we're seeing. Because it's not just Kent and Jeff that has this relationship. It seems to be the players, too. I think saying the more we work together, the better we get to know each other. We work very well together. We're not afraid to share our point of views with each other, even if they're different. And this seems to be a philosophy that runs through the Habs organization. And I think giving differing opinions, even especially on the ice, like we're seeing the Habs, they work really well together, but it's the front office doing this too, right? They're clearly making the right decisions together. I don't know. There's not a whole lot to glean from this, but I just thought that, like, hearing this directly from Kent Hughes, knowing, like, he's like, yeah, we don't always agree, but we work well together. Again, small little things, but all the small little things add up in the end. And I just love to hear this from our GM.
Especially as they're working together on this rebuild, on the master plan of where they want this team to be, and being able to approach problems from different angles and be able to look at it. And again, kind of working together towards these solutions and kind of coming together with their different knowledge, I think is amazing. And I think it's so amazing to have that kind of healthy competition. We see in like the behind the scene videos, like for the draft, like they encourage that, like people, like state your case. It's okay to have different opinions and everything else like that. And it's by that they're able to make the best decisions. But again, this is, as you alluded to, like throughout the organization as well. Like it's with the team members, but it's with Martin St. Louis buying into the vision, kind of all working together really to accomplish the goal at the end of the day. And that's why the Montreal Canadiens are really doing something special. It's a young team, but again, it's a team effort. They're not just relying on one person. They're really working as a 5-man unit out there, everybody kind of doing the role. So that's kind of really been the turning point for this team this year when they really accepted that.
100%. And yeah, it's just great to see, like, again, that cohesion between every little bit of this organization. I don't know, Jesse, we talk about how excited we are. Like, this is just the beginning. Like, the craziest part is that this is literally the beginning of this steep curve that's just going to be the Montreal Canadiens' success. We hope. I mean, it looks like they're very aware of the teams that don't go the way they want to go, and what they need to do to avoid it. So anyway, leave us your thoughts on all that down below, because that'll do it for this episode of Habs Digest. Yeah, it was a loss, but it's still a moral win, getting a point against the Dallas Stars and the biggest win streak in the NHL. I want to hear your thoughts on the game and all that stuff down below. But yeah, if you enjoyed, leave a like, comment, subscribe to the channel like you guys have been doing. 17K. Can't thank you enough once again. Really, really appreciate it. I'm Josh Gosse, my co-host, Jesse Poirier. We'll catch you in the next one.